good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. Welcome to the Final Fantasy 1 Randomizer Spring Tournament 2021. We are underway as we speak. We are up against, we have the Bridge Boss Pod against Hangry Canuck and jkoper. My name is Professor Render, joining me is Fiend. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. How are you tonight?
I'm doing spectacular. And we are just, there's a whole lot of activity going on.
Yeah, I saw the adamant. I missed what the princess had for us. King had adamant for us.
Hangry Canuck going into Temple of Fiends right now. jkoper is just going to go straight into Garland. There was Brack, so breaking into pieces pretty easily for Garland. And we're gonna get the cane. This is TNT, and Sarah is gonna give us the adamant. Hanker gonna start his Garland fight.
We have a little bit higher priced houses tonight, but not too crazy. They're not in the 2,000 or 3,000 range like we've seen in the past, so we might see a few of those when they get the money.
Yeah, it's starting now. It may not look so hot, but we'll get money eventually. We'll probably find like a whole bunch of money to begin with to start off here. So, wow. There's some action going on. jkoper gonna fight some imps and gonna take that the long trek through over into the elf or the smiths rather the
dwarf cave.
The dwarf cave. Yeah.
Yeah, he's probably gonna turn in that adamant, get the rod. So we're still obviously looking for ship and canal or floater to get out of here. But when they have that, they will be able to do Earth if they want. Gets that power bonk, so he's already ran into a wall at the doors, but at least you got that out of the way. One of the non key items, but it is incentivized.
It is +2 as well, which is good.
This is a blessing cursing seed with the qualifiers. We don't have any curses, but our blesses tonight are, let me pull those up again. I know the black belt has ninja spells, so I'm actually kind of surprised that Hangry Canuck did not choose a black belt, but we'll see how that goes for him. He might be a fighter kind of guy. But real quick, fighter has +20 MDef, thief has +30 hit points, black belt is rocking ninja spells, red mage has level sage magic, which is kind of funny, white mage has fighter armor, and black mage can use the vorpal.
Yeah, that was something I was looking forward to when I read the bonuses here. That black mage being able to equip the one and only vorpal.
Chat letting us know that Hangry is team fighter, so I'll take chat's word for it on that one. It definitely does appear to not take a black belt even when ninja spells are available. I'm assuming we didn't see nuke on the black belt level 1, but that still is an option at level 2 and 3, possibly even 4.
jkoper heading into provoke. There's lit 3 and fire 2 in there as part of black magic level 2.
Lit 3 is not quite nuke, but for most of the enemies in the game, it'll work. And there's Fade, so his red mages are rocking a sweeper too.
Yeah, definitely a nice thing to find at the first couple of levels when you're starting this off. Koper heading over to BK.
Pirates should not be an issue today. Very few tournament seeds are dangerous pirates on, so we'll see a clean sweep pretty quick.
Yep, indeed, there was a pretty clean sweep there, getting the floater from BK.
Now, if you're in these runners' positions, you know the other person's going to see that quick. Is that something that you want to see potentially a quick seed, or are you thinking, oh man, now I really can't make any mistakes?
Since it's so early in the game, it probably in the perspective. I mean, coming from someone who doesn't normally play FF1R, I would imagine they'll probably be thinking, oh, this is pretty quick, because you have the floater, you can fly around, you don't have to worry about boats or any boats or anything.
Very true, but one thing I'd be concerned about, especially in THC side, which is what I'm going to call Hangry Canuck probably from now on, with Team Fighter, with the airship, you can check a lot of grind tiles really quick. So jkoper, all he needs to do really is find a grind tile. He's already got a sweeper on his black belt, get that black belt up to 36 or 42, and he's going to have a real quick seed. And I'm not sure what... Okay, there's his color came back, but it'll be interesting to see. I'm sure he's going to go straight to airship. Be interesting to see where he goes from there.
Hey, you're gonna get the floater from BK.
Question in chat, who rolled the seed? It is not who you thought it was, I can tell you that.
I didn't look at the race stream, so I wouldn't know.
It's not a Danny seed. They're asking if it's a Danny seed. It's not. Doesn't mean we won't see nuke spiders, though.
Ooh, yeah, those are pretty bad.
So jkoper going to go ahead and check the Sage item here. Not a bad idea. Every key item this flag set is worth an additional 5% experience, so not a huge amount, but that does add up. That can make the difference in a couple minutes on your grind if you have, let's say, 4 or 5 more key items than your opponent does when you commit to the grind.
Sages are going to give us a ship.
Meanwhile, we have THT also heading that way. It looks like he's also going to check the Sage item. jkoper is checking the first encounter there off a hard reset. Finds some peds, which are definitely worth some good experience. That'll shoot his black belt up in possibly the levels where he can find a solo grind. I imagine we'll see him take this a couple times, maybe get to level 12 or so. That's an expensive inn, though, so he may not.
Hager not going to get the ship from the Sages, and jkoper is going to sooner or later get in the air.
Now, you said you're not a big Final Fantasy runner?
I come from I have a Link to the Past randomizer background, but I've commented a couple of FF1R seeds. I have some general knowledge about it, but don't really know a lot about the other intricacies, especially ones that have been brought up since my absence. So yeah, we're going to see jkoper into Elfland. So I didn't quite catch what was on level 3.
I did not either. I'm sure Tracker will have that in a second. THC checked Sarda, where he found the Oxy Ale, so if he so chooses, he can go to C right now. There are still key items in Marsh and Ice. However, they don't have as much incentive to go for them, although we see jkoper checking it. They already found the ship, so we know the canal has to be in one of the two, either Marsh or in Ice. The other one can either be a bonk item, such as white shirt. It can't be the power bonk, we already saw that. But it can still be the white shirt, or it could be an item they need, like the chime, the cube, or something that leads to chime or cube.
Level 4 white magic as exit. I also did see on black magic side there was also warp and bane on the black magic side, or at least for level 3 side, level 3 side, not level 4.
Yes, our tracker Rojo has warp listed at level 3 in the 3rd slot. Does anyone know in chat if that is ninja learnable?
jkoper also picked up the Thor hammer out of the marsh cave.
Our tracker letting us know it is ninja learnable, so you have a very easy grind for that black belt. He can get himself out of potentially a deeper grind than you would normally want to commit to. So in general, when you're talking fighter versus black belt, the fighter doesn't need as many levels potentially. If Hangry Canuck finds a good sword, such as Massa +5 or Xcal plus anything, he would be able to enter Topher a little bit earlier. However, jkoper is looking not so much for equipment, but rather levels, because the black belt wants to be naked entering Topher, and that is not a joke. He literally does not want to have any armor equipped if he's high enough in levels. His stats are based off of his levels, so we'll more than likely see jkoper opening less chests, but checking more grind tiles at a certain point.
And we also missed this too, but Hangry Canuck did find a canal out of Marsh Cave that was the incentivized item.
So that does mean that there is something in ice. We know there is something in ice. In one of the chests, it is random where it will be. That item could be anything, though. It could be the chime, it could be the cube, or it could be, any one of the items leading to it. Or there's still the tail and the white shirt on the table, which jkoper more than likely will not be promoting. Hangry Canuck probably will if he finds that tail. That way he has access to white magic on the night.
Sorta gives us the Oxyale, which was something that, if I'm not mistaken, Hangry Canuck, I believe, if I was seeing it in chat right, Hangry Canuck did get.
Yes, THC immediately went and picked up the item from Sarda. And Hangry Canuck still opening chests, still looking for some good armor, good sword. He could use the ribbon, defense. There's a lot of things Hangry Canuck would like to see for that fighter right now.
Oasis does not have the shop item, but just the stocking out some tents for jkoper.
A good check to make. Oasis shop. You can sometimes forget the incentive item can be there. We do have the incentive item still on the table in the shop, I do believe. I'm going to check the tracker notes.
So while we wait here, I'm going to give up some interesting information about these two runners. So this is the Bridge Boss Pod. Currently, Hangry Canuck is 1-1. It's one of his interesting facts and he says that his cat's breath smells like cat food. His race experience he's been in the last 4, made the play in Raisin a few times, and his favorite enemy is the Zombo. jkoper this is his first race of the Bridge Boss Pod. Some of his interesting facts is saying that he was in the first tournament of this first race of this randomizer and a few others, and he's been in every single tournament for Final Fantasy 1 randomizer. He has had a lot of experience in racing. His best finish was probably around the top 12, and his favorite enemy is the green ogres.
Interesting favorite enemy. I'll make sure to ask him about that if he joins us for a post-race interview. And you do not want to see that. That is a expensive gold bracelet. Definitely not max price by any means. It can be a lot higher than that, but that is not a cheap gold bracelet either. You'd like to see that around the 9 or 10k mark. THC headed into Waterfall Cave, going to check out the incentive item on the Golem, and probably going to check, still checking chest, obviously. You're not going to skip those. You're down here already. I did not see if he picked up warp or exit to exit out of here. I imagine he probably did pick up warp.
I believe he did, but I didn't see it for myself.
Chat saying he picked it up before Marsh, so yep, he definitely, that's not a spell you want to skip when it's available early. That can save you not only time, it could save you potentially a wipe, too. Interesting factoid about nightmares, which you'll more than likely see in Waterfall Cave. They can take more damage from the Ice 3 spell than the Nuke spell. Nuke can max out at 400 on them, and Ice 3 can do 420 damage.
Robot gives out a crystal as jkoper is in Castle of Ordeals. And that's an ice sword, but with a -5 on it.
Yeah, you're not going to be swinging that unless you absolutely have to. Ice sword -5. That's the rune sword +3 is going to be way better than that. I believe THC saw that. I saw that on one of the runner screens. I'm not sure which one it was though. And there's our incentive item, the crown, which he is able to purchase, and that is out of maybe the town escapes Gaia, maybe? It's the Sea Shrine town.
On rack.
On rack, okay. jkoper makes his way through Ordeals. Ordeals is incentivized, so he will be checking the chest here, trying to find the next incentive item. Which could still be a lot of things. The items we saw on the table are the key, the loot, the tail, the slab, the chime, and the cube.
You're gonna check that crown right away. Gonna fight Astos here.
And we get the herb from Astos, which I don't know. Forget which order you get them in normally. That seems French vanilla to me, possibly.
I believe that's vanilla.
Vanilla? Okay. It's been a while since I played the vanilla game, and when you run the randomizer, you sometimes forget what the actual order of the items is.
We'll check a look at the Elf Prince item, and that is a chime.
I know it goes crystal, and crystal leads to something. You wake up the prince, crown. You know, it gets a little blurry. Oh, there it is in chat. Crown to crystal to herb to key.
Speaking of the crystal, Hangry and I go and check out the crystal, what the crystal leads to. That's a tail.
That is an item that he would like to see. That is something that jkoper, if he can avoid it, more than likely would avoid it unless he grinds that black belt up early. The reason for that is the black belt has much higher MDef growth than the master does. I believe it's 4-to-1. Chat can correct me on those numbers, but you know, he's not looking to promote anytime soon. Let's put it that way.
Outside of that, though, we did see the bottle pop up from Castle of Ordeals.
There's the promotion on Hangry Canuck's side. On jkoper's side, he's found a fighter mage. Is that a tile that he found? I believe it might be. If it is, he's gonna check to see if they weren't. The Thor hammer didn't take them out, so we know they didn't roll low. He did use his Lightning 3 there, so not a good solo grind. Yeah, he's gonna exit out of that. That was the trap tile on the zombie dragon trap tile. Thank you, chat.
Yep, that was the tile. I did see that after he finished up his provoke Castle deals checks.
Our tracker Rojo mentioning also found a red D tile before the mages, and now he finds a sandworm, but I'm not sure what step encounter that is on. Passing it up, so it must not be. It must be in a random location that he's not worried about.
I did also look back on the playback here, and I did see level 5 nuke in Melmond.
Definitely a spell you want to see. Nuke is non-elemental and will work on everything, basically.
Yeah, by far probably one of the most important spells in the game.
Nuke and Fade are both non-elemental. Fade, I believe, caps out at 320 damage, where Nuke, I believe, is 400. So Fade is going to do a little less damage overall. Don't quote me on the numbers, but Fade is lower for sure. No, Nuke can roll slightly higher. It's going to average higher.
So thehangrycanuck is making his way through Ice Cave here, while jkoper is going to check out Gaia. More so, he wants to chase down that bottle and see what the fairy gives for us here. It is a cube.
Cube not giving us any new access yet, but it's definitely an item he wants to see. He probably is going to check a lot of the overworld encounters before he commits to ice. I would think, given the way he's playing right now, I'm guessing he's going to check a lot of the things that he can do now. Maybe not Sea Shrine though. That's a pretty expansive dungeon to check without knowing if you have to check it or not. You really want to go mode Sea Shrine if possible.
And we know that the crown leads to eventually the chime off of the Elf Prince, and we know that's in Onrak, which jkoper is in the vicinity of. We'll check Waterfall first, then possibly going into Onrak to look at the shop item.
Which means they just need to find the loot and the key, which I believe are going to be behind a behind items at this point. Probably behind the slab. We'll find either the loot or the key. The ruby is not going to lead to anything this seed. You don't need it since the airship is on the table already. So if they find the ruby, that is literally just an item that's going to give you a little bit extra XP if you even keep it. And for the runner's sake, let's hope the ruby is either in Sky, Mirage, or Sea Shrine, and they're just able to go mode those dungeons without having to open any chest.
Speaking of dungeons, thehangrycanuck is going to be charging towards the armory here in the volcano. Gets a pro cape.
Find some what we in the community like to call EXPs. They're a little bit juicier than their larger cousins. They're usually fairly easy to take down. Choosing not to take them must be, I don't know. Maybe they have a spell that I did see Trance come out of there, so that could be why he's choosing not to take them.
And thehangrycanuck is getting out of there. Only checking armory and that was it, or at least going back in.
Yeah, you're not going to check the hairpin unless you absolutely have to, and you do not have to in the seed because Volcano is not incentivized. So the only thing that could possibly be in those chests is a Masa, because they are playing where the Masa is available. In which case we'll probably never see it. I don't see either of those runners checking those chests unless they just get in absolute desperation mode.
jkoper is out of the waterfall and got the crystal. off of the robot.
Hangry Canuck deciding he doesn't want to attempt to take on carry. Maybe he just want to check a few chests and move on somewhere else. Not sure where he's headed next. Meanwhile, jkoper checking the item shop. Probably not going to dive waterfall, but don't want to try to predict what he's going to do next. So we'll see.
jkoper does see the crown. I believe he did pick it up, though.
Was that life 2 white mage locked? It was 3rd slot.
Take a look here.
Second slot, so it's white locked, but not red locked. Okay. No access for the knight. That's the big thing our tracker letting us know, that the knight will not be learning life 2 today, given the slot that was in. That is definitely something I need to learn as a runner of the game. Not just scrolling over the spell to see whether I can learn or not, but actually knowing which slots lead to what. Meanwhile, jkoper, it's why I don't try to predict what the runners are going to do. He is checking mermaids, which is an interesting play with a black belt. Because there's not, I don't think, maybe one trap tile over here you can check. But he might be thinking that it's the play that the other runner won't do first.
Yeah, this is an interesting play from jkoper. I mean, considering that this is for at least so as long as he goes, well, he will be getting closer to sky access once he does turn in the crown, and then get the herb to turn in for the chime. So we may see a sky play coming up after, hopefully, once jkoper makes his way over there. There's a ruby in the mermaids.
So that is an absolute bonk, but at least he found it early. Again, that's going to lead to nothing, but possibly those 5 items, but I doubt we're going to see jkoper check those 5 items. There could be a ribbon in there, there could be a massa in there, but, you know, it's, for all intents and purposes, that was just a bonk item, not an item he wanted to see. He was probably looking for the key or the loot. Or he doesn't know the chime, but we know where the chime is at as commentators.
And jkoper is out of the siege shrine.
And our tracker has given us some information there. The key came out of the Lefane. I missed that check from Hangry Canuck. So only thing that they need now is the loot. If you combine the knowledge that we have, obviously. One has the cube, one has the chime. But the only item that we haven't seen for go mode is the loot.
And it appeared as if the slap did also come out of the ice cave as well, which I believe jkoper has yet to go to do.
So he will have to go into Ice Cave at some point. Guaranteed. The key is an item you need, because there is one locked door in Temple of Fiends Revisited that if you forget that you need the key, you can come up and get that message. There's 2 messages you can get in Temple of Fiends Revisited. One is the key, and the other one would be the loot tile. If you're a new runner, don't want to forget those items when you enter Temple of Fiends Revisited. And there's the white shirt, so we know that Corneria Armory is our other non-key incentive item. So we've seen both of those. Hopefully our runner noticed it, because it does not give you any kind of indication that it is a incentive item.
But it did roll a -3 on it, if I was reading it right.
Yeah, does he have a white mage? The only real reason you'd have to use it is as a defensive item. It casts Invis 2, so that would be the main reason to have that item. It does have fairly decent MDef, if I remember correctly, but he doesn't have a white mage, and we didn't have any white shirt pluses on our blessings today, so he'll probably just keep that on his black mage and use it as an Invis 2 cast.
Gonna find some catmen. Gonna get away from that though. Gonna check Castle of Ordeals now. We'll begin the bottle from there, which does lead to the cube.
And jkoper headed into ice, so he's going to have his sky access pretty quick.
So pretty much they're making the same. They're going through the same checks here. So I want to pose a question for you. When do you think both of our runners are going to head into Sky, if ever?
Well, they will have to. This isn't it's not an open Topher, so they do have to defeat Tiamat and light that orb to get in Temple of Fiends Revisited. I doubt jkoper would head here at his low levels, but you never know. I mean, he's gone to Waterfall and checked Mermaids, where he did find the ruby, which not what he was looking for, but he's made some interesting plays. I would expect if I were commenting most black belt runners, they would still be looking for a grind tile before entering into Sky Mirage. Meanwhile, Hangry Canuck, all he needs is a good piece of armor and a good weapon. He can enter there and grind on vampires, whiz vamps, check the trap tile before you get to the cube room. So I would expect to see THC head there before jkoper, but you never know.
Yeah, and the Black Mage does have a decent piece of armor in the form of that white shirt that we mentioned before. Although even if it rolled with a negative, but it's our only thing that we have left since Hangry Canuck did not bring along a white mage. But we could also hopefully see the Vorpal coming out if the Vorpal does appear, and that'd be pretty handy for Hangry Canuck, because we do know that the Black Mage can actually wield the Vorpal.
jkoper finding an Iron Golem. Not going to take that, which he does have warp, so you could warp out of here if you wanted to try to solo grind that. I didn't see if that was a low rolling Iron Golem. Of course, his black belt not in a great position, and he's not healing him, so I'm not sure what he's planning on. Again, don't want to try to predict what these runners are going to do, because you never know. They have strategies, and you can try it. You might think that they're going for a 42 black belt. He might choose to damn that black belt off. So I doubt it, but you never know.
Right. You're not now taking into the air. It's probably turning that bottle. It's going to go ahead and get the cube. And as Chad's pointing out, we're still looking for ribbons as well.
Yeah, that fighter needs some death magic protection. Pro Ring will provide you, I believe, time magic resistance, but you're still vulnerable to elemental. You combine the Pro Ring with the Aegis or the Pro Shield, you get a little bit of both. Neither one of them as good as a ribbon, but let's call it a pseudo ribbon. Death protection, okay.
Yeah, from the looks of things as well, I believe that was level 7. I did see Zap of a Black Mage, of the Black Magic, of a Gaia.
which with the Black Wizard you can learn those spells, but you're going to have to gain a few more levels before you're able to have any charges of casting it. Zap having a 50-50 chance on everything, I believe, but undead, golems, and of course the bosses, which it will still have a 3 and 256 of working, but typically not a strategy you're going to use.
Hangry Canuck is heading into the Mirage Tower.
A good play from him. He still needs equipment, and a lot of these fights he can take. With Fade Nuke, you're not too worried about the encounter. I don't think he'll go up to Tia with these levels and this equipment, but you never know.
Hangry Canuck finds a Badman, as well as a Nightmare.
Trident pointing out in chat he might have Brack, which would be a strat that is a 1 in 4 chance of hitting, and if it's at level 1, you should have the charges to get through it. But it is still a roll of the dice. If you go up there, it looks like he probably is headed up that way, so it'll be interesting to see if he takes that strat.
Yeah, there was Brack really early on at level 1.
And for THC, Sky Mirage is probably the best walking grind that is available. And with the fighter composition, you might want to go for the walking grind rather than the stationary grind tile like you would with the black belt normally. And we found the loot, I believe, in the bottom floor in the greater than, less than, not the other way around.
Yeah, less than, greater than room. That was where the loot was found. jkoper getting the chime now. And Canuck is in fact gonna head up towards Sky.
And Blue Dragon doing Blue Dragon things. Looks like it rolled over probably 500 health. So if we find that as a grind tile, probably not going to take it. That wasn't the grind tile or the trap tile, however. We have 4 giants on the trap tile, which not bad experience, but probably not what you're going to grind on this late in the game. THC appears to be headed straight to Tia, not checking any more chests at this point, or if he does check chests, probably just the high density locations. Yeah, Canuck with his levels, if he had good equipment, could potentially do a Topher. I would want to see probably a defense sword at minimum before I did it, but we'll see what his strategy is. And he is checking the higher density locations, so I expect to see him check the left side. He's going to go ahead and check the 12 o'clock location as well, but see if it pays out for him. It pays out in money, but not paying out in what he really needs at this point. Will we see the robot chicken today? Is that Bless RNG in chat or Warmac? Do we have any of those emotes in chat? And more importantly, would THC take it? I doubt it, but that would be a great experience dump if he can.
I'm back here just in time for Canuck to head up towards the Bridge of Destiny.
There's Warmac question mark. That's a good one to put out. Meanwhile, jkoper finding out that the armory was just a white shirt +2. Probably not wanting to see that on his side. You're not likely to get your invis cast up with a black belt in time. Just gonna punch it out more than likely, but he's gonna take it anyway for the XP. jkoper checking
mud goals. Sorry, go ahead.
Just checking the trap tile. We hadn't seen that 2 zombie Ds as a trap tile in Locked Temple of Fiends.
So Angry can find some sorcerers and mud goals during this Bridge of Destiny here.
Looks like no war mech today, at least on the THT side. We still have jkoper to hope for if you're one of those that hopes to see the war mech. We're going to see a white shirt immediately, so we're going to get the Ruse invis stack 2/6 up. And a first turn Brack.
Very nice. That was a very nice roll from Hangry Canuck. Gonna strike first blood here.
I believe that's about a 26.9% chance. It's a little bit over a 1 in 4, but still, you like to see that, especially if that is your primary strategy for taking out Tia. You don't want to have to sit there and brack.
Very much so.
Looks like jkoper found the bad stake tile on the hard reset, which also has squint, but not hitting him at the moment. So we'll see if he chooses to take Tyros for his black belt grind, or if he moves on to something else. And Toxic coming out, which looked to be not the damage kind, but Stone Toxic, I believe that was. Or that might have just been Poison Toxic. Chat, let me know what that was.
Hangry Canuck is going to head over down into Siege Strain now that he's got everything he needs. So this will pretty much be a rush down all the dungeons here. I don't know if Hangry Canuck will still want to grind, get ready for Topher, or if he's pretty much good to go here.
At this point, I believe he's just checking chests to try to hope he gets a ribbon, a masa, something a little bit better to swing. But yes, he is in go mode. He does not have to open boxes if he doesn't want to.
Yeah, and this is interesting. Now, if Hangry Canuck decides to look for a better weapon, if he does find a Masa, that'd be really nice for him. And if it rolls a pretty nice blessing, then very much that will justify it. Of course, let's not forget too that black mages can equip the Vorpal. So if he does find a Vorpal, then he pretty much we want to point that in, put it on his his black mage right away, and it really depends on it also too. That if it rolls a nice blessing or not an awful curse.
Yeah, the only way I could see him swinging that on the black mage is if he ran out of spell charges. It's usually not the strat you're going to go with, especially with a nun there. I would expect to see him use that black mage as a meat shield when he gets to Topher. You never know though. The runners can employ all kinds of strategies, and chat did let me know that Toxic is basically the cloud kill spell. If you want to get a copyright strike, so it is Death Element. Hangry Canuck is going to check the chest on the way down to Kraken. So far hasn't pulled out anything too spectacular. Meanwhile, we have jkoper doing the turn-in for... let's see, what is this the turn-in for? I don't. Or is he checking? He might be checking trap tiles. I don't know if we ever saw the trap tiles over in Astos Castle, Eastern Castle, Western Castle.
I don't believe so. I just call it Astos Castle. I think that's pretty much that's what it really is. The Northwest Castle, our tracker says. Some Agmas. Okay.
Depending on how these roll, if these are one hit, this could be where he chooses to do the stationary grind. He is, at this point, probably desperately looking for a trap tile, and this one looks to be a pretty good tile to take. He still needs those levels. He needs to down those party members off and get that black belt at least, I want to say, 36.
Hangrycanuck going off to fight Kraken.
And another first.
To pieces again. First turn Breck again. Hangrycanuck is getting really, really lucky with these Brecks here.
So is the 1-4 and 1-4 is it's to the power 4, right? I'm not gonna do math on Twitch. I'm gonna let chat do the math on that and tell me what the chances are of rolling that twice in a row. So Hangrycanuck has 2 orbs lit, Earth and Fire. Again, those he does not have to check any chest. He can just go mode those. He probably still will check the chests that are on the way. And is doing extremely well with this fighter Red Mage Nun Black Mage party. I'm sure our team fighters are rooting for THC, and you know, it's kind of a meme about black belts always winning, but this showing where equipment and luck, as far as not having a good grind tile, can favor the fighter over the black belt. Our tracker doing the math, letting us know it's about 6.5 or % chance for hitting both. So about a 1 in 20, a little more than that.
Yeah, it's. I mean, that's a very. It would be very crazy if you ended up getting cracks on most of the fiends here, and now we're going to see Hangrycanuck going into the volcano.
Of course, important to note that both Tiamat and Kraken are basically weak to Brack, whereas Carry is not. Carry is, I believe, weak to Confuse, and then Lich is weak to Quake, which is odd that the Lich who is in the Temple of, Earth dungeon is weak to what is essentially an Earth spell. Final Fantasy logic.
I guess that makes sense, yeah. At this point, though, nothing's stopping Canuck just because he's going on pretty much going through the volcano really, really quickly here.
So both runners in the same dungeon. However, jkoper is going to check this armory, which we saw earlier on the THC side, I believe. THC skipping the opal armor, +3. He is promoted. I wonder, what does he have that he skipped that, chat? Do we know? Opal armor having the highest absorb. Of course, dragon armor has higher, I want to say, MDef or elemental resist, but he must have something on that fighter. Maybe he's just maybe he just skipped it. Dragon armor and C +4-ish, ice +4. So is ice +4 actually higher absorb than opal +3? I don't think it is. Of course, it does take time to menu and change that, and he might be thinking with this early airship that, sub-hour definitely possible. Meanwhile,
Oh,
that is nasty. It's a good thing we didn't see these runners try to do a cheeky early volcano. That was a nasty carry one.
yeah, and Canuck had to actually check his menu just to make sure that he didn't lose a lot. Didn't lose everything that up to that point, and luckily he did save. So his crystals have been preserved.
Yeah, that's the problem with muscle memory and entering a dungeon and dropping that save and just going. When you're in go mode, then you might panic when something very unexpected happens. At the 50-minute mark, you do not expect to go down to carry one. And especially at his levels, I believe he's in the mid-20s, low 20s. And our tracker pointing out there is damage poison. Yes, that is in fact the spell I was thinking of. And damage poison is a dangerous spell to run into without. I don't know. Is that resistible? I don't know if that's resistible by the ribbon or if that's a non-elemental spell as well. Ribbon will resist it. Okay. That's not a bad trap tile to come across either, but without Ice 3, they're going to be reliant on their nuke and fade charges. And hopefully, of course, THC knows that carry is kind of nasty this time, so I don't know if he's trying to get a few levels before he goes after carry again, or if he's just decided to check these chests for a better sword.
Canuck is making his way back to carry, try to fight her up again. While jkoper, I believe, is going through. I think going to the. Is he also in a volcano, or is that something else?
He was. I haven't looked at his screen now. I'm kind of watching to see what happens on this Carry refight again. He opens up with a... Carry has Blizzard as well. So Carry, the early gatekeeper, fortunately we're seeing it late in the game, but this could have been really... It's still nasty, but it could have been really nasty for the runners if they tried to dive this early. Blizzard followed by Poison. This time the rolls are in his favor and he survives it, so good job to him, gets through that nasty Carry fight.
And that is good news. That will be Canuck's third orb lit.
jkoper going to check this trap tile, and this, or both trap tiles over here. He knows what this one is. This one shares the same set as the one above, the floor above. I believe he's checking the other one and that chest for whatever reason. jkoper has not seen how nasty carry is, so let's hope that he doesn't... Okay, I was gonna say if that were like a 3-eye tile or something, which I'm not sure if it's still on the table. Someone said earlier we're on A side tiles. If that would have been a really juicy grind, he could have had a nasty fight potentially if he didn't grind his black belt to say 42. In which case, Kari probably would have been one punch. So jkoper about to do his carry fight. He does heal up, so he is giving carry some respect, which we know is well-deserved respect this seed. Let's see how his fight goes.
Yeah, this one's a doozy.
Low roll fade. Thief swings for a decent amount of damage, and carry gonna punch this time, so not choosing to open with the blizzard or the poison.
Yeah, just good thing, and that just we didn't see the spells at all. Carry's just been terminated.
Rando gonna be Rando, and jkoper doesn't know that carry was a potential obstacle, so he is through, and that is. If I'm looking at the tracker correctly, that is his first orb lit.
Yeah, and it also looked like, too, according to the chat, that Carrie was had rolled pretty low HP.
Vanilla Carrie, I believe, is 600, so I believe she was around vanilla, which is unusual for the rando. jkoper still checking trap tiles. Going to check the, I believe this is a tile. I don't remember my trap tiles. There's 3 different trap tiles on Earth 1. This would be one of these sets. Meanwhile, THC getting through the first early game. If you're playing vanilla, first early game obstacle, not an obstacle for him as he heads down to Lich 1. I maintain that Lich 1 is not even a speed bump. I don't know about chat. I see the speed bumps coming out in chat. We usually call Lich 2 speed bump. So if Lich 2 is a speed bump, what does that make Lich 1?
Just some like a hill, like a slight hill, an incline.
Possibly. Lich 1 may not even see turn 1. We'll have to see how that goes for THC side. He gets an unfortunate crack, it looks like. There's where that ribbon would have helped him out. He does have life, so it's just a matter of, losing that spell charge, but definitely something he's got to be worried about for Topher, because you can see those instant death spells come out from almost anything. jkoper settling in on this 3 sorcerer fight. I'm not sure what level he's planning on going to, but I don't know if these would get him here in time to enter in with any kind of urgency into Topher, but we'll see.
We're about to approach Lich 1 on Canuck's side. Gonna go ahead and heal up.
After that carry fight, I don't blame him for healing for a fight you normally wouldn't even give 2 thoughts about. There's our first turn Lich.
So at this point, Hangry Canuck is just going to head straight into, please, before doing
straight
that,
into Northwestern Castle. That's exactly what I know you're going to say. That's exactly what you were going for, right?
I was expecting a Topher, but probably it's going to check the trap tiles. Okay, but so Hangry Canuck will know about the Agama tile.
With his equipment and lack of a ribbon, I don't blame him for this. Of course, he does not know where jkoper's at. We know he has probably 5 to 10 minutes to do this. However, he does not know that, so we'll have to ask him about that, if he's looking for equipment or if he was just looking for levels. I don't think he had, I don't think he knew about this tile, so he definitely, I'm assuming, lucked into it. Tracker asking if jkoper finished Sky. I don't think he did. Did anyone in chat happen to see? I know Hangry bracked Tia, but I don't remember seeing another Tia fight.
I don't believe jkoper did go into Sky. Yeah, chat's confirming that this is jkoper's first orb.
Anyone in chat know what level THC would have to be to swing that rune sword plus, I believe it's plus 3 for 8 hits. Meanwhile, jkoper headed down to face Lich 1. I'd be interested to see if he skips. Yeah, he's going to skip the Earth Armor. He just head straight down. Wilcleosis says he estimates a 5th hit at 33 for Rune 3. We'll see if THC decides that's a high enough level or if he continues to grind. 6th hit about 43. Okay, I doubt we'll see that, but you never know.
His party up to level 26. I don't know. When do you think Hangry Canuck's gonna stop grinding? Like somewhere around like level 30, or?
Well, that's why I asked in chat. Wilcleos is pointing out with the current equipment that he has for Rune Sword, he'll probably get another hit at around 33. So if he's looking for that extra hit, I would expect he would leave at that level. If he's just looking for a little bit of safety and life, I doubt he'll see 800 life, so 2 max rolls of anything would take him out. But so if you're looking for the 600 or 700 life for a high roll, then he might only take a few more levels. But it looks like the knight kind of had low HP rolls. Not sure. He may not just have healed yet.
Currently up to level 27 now. If he chooses to stop at around at 33 for that 5th hit, that could help. I would say, I don't know. I mean, I'd probably go with what Cleo's is saying and saying just get your 5th hit.
So far, he spent about 8 minutes on this grind. On a seed like this, he doesn't know where his opponent's at. We know he has the time to do this, but every minute that he spends grinding, his opponent could be in tow for.
Yeah, very much so. And considering that the seed was very much chat, it will only take a matter of time for jkoper to get all of the orbs lit and possibly head into Topher. Now, now that being said, if jkoper decides to do some more grinding, if he doesn't feel comfy with his health situation, or wants a bit more protection, or maybe want to look for more checks, he could probably look for something out, like another weapon or something. He could do that. Like probably could spend a bit of time there, but. Being more knowledgeable in Link to the Past rando, I don't know what I'm saying.
Well, I can tell you at his levels, he needs equipment still on his black belt, and gold 3, pro cape, he's going to need at least a ribbon if he wants to try a black belt at mid-20s, in my opinion. Possibly 32, like Chad is pointing out. And 32, you probably would take that equipment off. 42 for sure, you're going in naked, you're punching everything down, you're not likely to run into anything, but that's a lot of time that he doesn't have really to grind unless he just finds a 4-eye tile and manages to down his rest of his party off very soon. And I'm not sure with the trap tiles that we have available if that's even, or 3-eye tile if that's even possible. Tracker pointing out if it's A side, then it will be a single eye. So that would be a B side. So what do we have, chat? You're gonna have to decide. My knowledge of that is not high enough to even question what you're saying.
Yeah, I'm not really too cognizant about the A side or A side B sides tables. Or at least I know that that's a thing that it's either you get an A side or the B side. with these flags that we're rolling here.
I know it has to do with the pirates and the flags in vanilla that the monsters shared that were unrunnable. The reason why wizards Sahags were unrunnable is they shared I believe they're the B side to the pirate fight, which is the A side. So that's where that terminology comes from. But actually identifying what trap tiles are available, I still need assistance with. So Hangry Canuck finds the locked Temple of Fiends 4 zombie dragon tile, decides he's at least going to take that. I imagine he's not looking for trap tiles so much as equipment still. Pointer to note that THD is still swinging that rune sword +3, which, while doable, especially with the power bonk, he would probably like a little bit better sword. And it is entirely possible the Masa could be in vanilla location in locked Temple of Fiends. So I'd be interested to see if THC heads up Temple of Fiends and if he actually opens either the right and left hand check right after the loot, or right before the loot tile, or the crazy play, which would be to check the chest after Tier 2.
So Hangry Canuck is going to break open the Black Corp, sending him 2,000 years into the past, heading into Topher.
So heading into Topher at around the minute, I believe that was hour 6 minute 40-second mark or 30-second mark. So still a very quick seed. Whether or not the seed was sub-hourable or not, that's up to routing RNG. Anytime you're below an hour and 30, that is definitely a quick seed. You could easily get a 2-hour plus seed when you're talking rando. THC going to check the so-called validation chest. I believe you have those in Link to the Past randomizer as well, don't you?
Yeah, that would be the Moldorm 2. The Moldorm 2 chest. Actually, you take down Moldorm 2 in A Link to the Past. It's the one chest though.
The same in Final Fantasy. There's no validation. The validation is actually the hash at the start of the game that both runners check. Just a joke on the meme, if you will. Does not find anything, so maybe we'll see a rune +3 chaos fight. Three blue dragon tile. I do recall the blue dragons were blue dragons and had a fairly high HP pool, but I can't tell you off the top of my head if they had anything nasty. For THC, anything nasty is pretty well any death magic, time magic, earth magic, any instant death spell, stone touch. He does have, if chat is correct, he does have dragon armor, which will protect from some of the elemental spells, but death spells with the pro ring, I think he has, if he has the pro ring, does he have the pro ring, chat?
I want to say he does?
We know he went down to Crack, but Crack, I think, is Earth Elemental, so he would still be vulnerable to that if he has it on. If it's Death Magic, would be, like, X at Quad X, if Kraken decides he wants to blow up Quad X. Of course, you'd much rather see Quad X on Kraken than just him punching you over and over again. So Will Cleos is saying in chat, pro rings were for sale, so it's very likely that THC has one on his fighter, if not all his party members. Meanwhile, we see THC going into Carry 2. Carry 2 can hit hard too. Carry 2 can hit 11 hits without being fasted, I believe. Goes for the Quad X before he gets the wall up, but he gets fortunate with those. Not fortunate with the turn order, but fortunate with the RNG there. So we have Carry 2 going down very quickly, and then we have Kraken 1 on jkoper's side.
As jkoper is fighting Kraken, Hangry Canuck is going to be making way towards Kraken 2 in about a couple minutes or so. About a couple of seconds or so, probably.
So jkoper making it through Kraken 1 just before we see Kraken 2. Looks like, ooh, that's a good thing that Kraken did not choose to hit hard this seed. He did not back row that fighter. He does not have any invis stacks on that fighter, and that fighter just took a punch for only 300 damage. Now, he might be thinking that he needs to keep both his red mage and black wizard, or red wizard, black wizard up. So I'll ask if he joins us for post-interview. I'd definitely be sure to ask him if that was intentional or not. So we have
up the. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Yeah, I was going to say that Chunk is going to temper up the knights. jkoper is actually doing a class change here before going to Sky.
I believe that was 3 stacks of temper. We're starting to hit for around 500, and there goes down Kraken 2. So first major gatekeeper, the one that most people are refer to as the major gatekeeper. Of course, Tia 2 can have higher absorb, so it may end up being a longer fight and can still have some dangerous spells. So it'll be interesting to see what Tia 2 has for us.
All right, on to Tia 2 for Hangry Canuck.
That's not what you want to see.
Ugh.
Does get an evade stack out. Wants to get a few more of those out if Tia decides to start hitting. Fortunately, Tia 2 deciding to just cast spells after that fast, and being kind so far with just throwing out 2 level 2 spells. And with a good... Go ahead. Yeah, a high amount of absorb there, so...
Yeah, 527 damage on that swing. Fade is going to come out for 117. 5 hits, 553 terminated. Tia 2 is down.
So, right around the hour, 13-minute, 30-second mark, we're going to see Chaos for the first time. Let's see what Chaos has in store. We're going to wall. We're going to fade. No, we're going to white shirt. Okay, we're going to get those evade stacks, and we're going to get a fast off. So we have our wall up, we have one evade stack up, and we have her fast up. Want to see a couple more stacks of evade probably before any dangerous skills come out. We got a lock 2 going out. We're going to try to make Chaos a little bit easier to hit, even though I believe he hit for a fair amount. Just may as well throw that out there just in case his evade is high. Gonna burn one of those Cure 4 charges on the red wizard. I'm not sure. I believe might still wanting to be cast. Yep, we'll get the white shirt on the red wizard, so that's a good idea. So we have, I believe that's the 3rd stack of 6, or 4 of 6, I believe now.
So we gain 5 hits, 378 damage. Oh, oh no! Chaos zapping the black mage.
Which, that's okay, we do have a power bonk as long as we get that evade maxed. So far, Chaos hasn't thrown out anything too dangerous, so get that evade up, evade max, get him start power bonking, and then just hit. So we need one more white shirt cast, which looks like he's going for lock 2 again. Interesting.
6 hits, 738 damage on that swing. 8 hits, 660 damage. Oh,
Fortunate that he survives that. So that cure comes out, so we know Nuke is in the table. He does want to, Cass has got a pretty large spell table. He wants to get him down, and GG, he gets him down.
That was on a 563 for that termination. GG to Hangry Canuck. He'll be finished. So Hangry Canuck does take the victory with an official race time, that GG time of 1:15:24. Really nicely played from Hangry Canuck.
So we have jkoper headed into Sky. Looks like he's about ready to take on Tia 1. Gonna run from those metal slimes. Decides he's happy with his experience. And taking on Tia 1 here. We didn't see anything too scary from Tia 1, but then again we saw Brack, immediate Brack from THC, so. Oh, and a stun on the wizard, but that's why he put the ninja, in the first slot, whereas the black belt is in second. And we're joined in chat by THC. GG, THC.
Thanks. I was worried. I seen those Agamas and Red Giants, and I'm like, oh god, if he's got a black belt and found that early.
He did, in fact, have a black belt. He did not find an early grind tile, though. He did run across that same tile, just not probably as early as he wanted to.
Kind of wondering if Wendy's Seeds are going to start giving me a sword or something.
You like that? What did you end up taking Chaos out with? Was that a rune sword that you fought him with?
Nah, Flame Sword +4.
Flame Sword +4, okay. Yeah, not ideal, but not the worst thing you could have had.
Yeah, especially considering too that the Black Mage could have actually had Vorpal if you had somehow found it along the way.
Yeah, I was walling the Red Mage because he had life 2. And I'm like, if he goes down to something, I'm pretty well frigged. So I knew the fighter had +20 MDef, so I'm like, well, maybe I'll get lucky and he'll survive. But I really didn't see anything, so.
Did you go back and buy pro rings for any of your other characters, or did you just have one on your fighter?
I didn't have one on my fighter.
You didn't even have one on your fighter, okay.
No, I had him with the power gauntlet. I had him on the Red Mage and the Black Mage, though.
Okay, so you did have death protection, but not protection from time or earth.
Yeah, Carry 1 gave me a good going over, too.
Yeah, Carry 1 could have been interesting. Neither one of you went into Volcano early. You both got fortunate in that regard. That could have been a nasty fight had you... I mean, it still was a nasty fight at your 20s, which had to be shocking. We saw you pause for a second. We thought you may have wondered if you had saved before you entered Volcano, considering you were in go mode.
No, I got up and was like, seriously, game? And I just kind of did a little walk and come back to the chair.
Now, one thing I wondered about, when you settled in on the Agama grind, were you thinking I'm ahead, or were you thinking I'm just going to need these levels? I got to do it no matter what.
Well, I was looking for the 5th hit on that Flame Sword, because I figured there's no sense going in. Like, I mean, I didn't know where jkoper was. If he was ahead of me, he was ahead of me, but I needed the grind, so I didn't have much of a choice. I figured if he'd get there first, good for him, or I'd get there, it's either way. Anything but a Flame Sword, and I might have went earlier.
Yeah, didn't see the Masa, the Seed on either side. I don't think we saw Defense or even the Sun Sword on either side, so that Flame Sword, that Rune Sword, those were the highest. I don't know if did you see the rune +3 or did you only see the flame?
No, I had the rune +3. It was on the black. It was on the red wizard.
Okay. So those were the two highest swords that we saw as well. Meanwhile, jkoper is entering Temple of Fiends on the stream right now. Getting ready to go into Lich 1 or Lich 2, excuse me.
Did he dig out the ruby and sky? Because that's where I figured it was. That's why I didn't dig out sky at all.
I believe jkoper was also in go mode when he entered Sky. But apparently he was checking boxes. I missed it because I see it on the tracker.
Ruby was actually in C, not in Sky.
Sorry, I meant C. Yeah, I meant C because I go moded C. I was like, if I don't get a sword, I was thinking as I was going through C, I'm like, okay, if I find a good sword like the Massa or the Excal, something plus, I'll go early. If I'm stuck with this crappy flame sword, I'm gonna have to grind somewhere. And I just got lucky the Agama tile was there because I was gonna go back to Earth for the Grey Shards. Or Ice, sorry.
And jkoper getting ready to do his carry 2 fight. We didn't see anything nasty at carry 2 on your side, but you never know with carry 2 either if what can come out. So it'll be interesting to see if we see any different RNG on jkoper's side. He's kind of might be wondering what he's going to what strats he's going to take. Decides to go with white shirt. Good strat. That white shirt might have saved him. Carry doing carry things, immediately went for his black belt, hit for around 380 damage. Black belt still with 184 health.
Okay, I got a question. Can you brack carry 2?
3 and 256.
I didn't even think it would hit him.
There's always, unless the flag is turned on where it's 1 and 256, there's always that chance. You can zap, brack, chaos even, if I recall correctly. It's just a very, very low chance. Which you have that same, it seems to happen more as a runner, you have that same chance if you've ever been insta-death while wearing a ribbon. So jkoper getting ready to go to his Kraken 2 fight. If he can make it there, we didn't see, I don't think we saw Naga's cast Blizzard on you when you were going through Water Floor, unless I'm mistaken, THC.
No, the only thing I seen on the water floor were the sharks and the grey hags, and I seen some waters, but I got first strike on them. So.
Yeah, it looks like Nagas have Cremate and Blizzard, and they're choosing to eat away his life. I hope he heals up. He's down.
Must have Cure 4 and Life 2 on those red mages, so he's pretty well set, I would think.
Yeah, but he's not healing, and he's within one shot of his. Yeah, down goes his red mage, or one red mage. The other one's still standing. Ninja's about ready to go down, and Ninja's down. He's down to one character. Can he run out of this fight? Come on, make it out.
Ooh, yeah, this is that really hurts.
Maybe
Yep,
he's
yeah,
maybe he's looking to join us in chat early. No, he's headed back in. All right. So, in that seed, obviously, fighter. You had fighter. You chose to take a nun. Is that a strategy you normally employ to have the nun for the increased experience, or what do you have in mind when you took that party?
That's the party I take. That's what I've been using the whole time. It's the only party I use.
So, not a fan of black belts. Not gonna even have one there as if you find an early grind, you're gonna have that fighter, team fighter.
I just go with 3 because I get the experience split out well on the other ones. So there's no sense in having a 4th character for a meat shield. If your fighter's well armored, just leave him at the top slot. He's going to be able to absorb pretty much everything. So you really don't need a meat shield with a good geared fighter.
That was another question I was going to ask you. You didn't back row the fighter. Were you worried when Kraken hit you out of the gate, or did you assume that he wasn't going to crit you enough, wasn't going to hit you enough with the armor that you had?
Yeah, I assumed he wasn't going to hit me that hard. I don't put the fighter in the back because, like I said, why send a squishy character up when I know there's a better chance on the fighter taking a direct hit than there is on one of the mages. So there's no sense in changing. Oh, I found those Grey Medusas in Earth too, and I was kind of happy for a minute until they started sending out Cremate on me.
Yeah, that can, when you have that many enemies and that's their first skill spell, you better than Death Touch or Nuke Green Medusas, which you can. I think we've had, even in the qualifiers, I think we've seen that at least once or twice. So jkoper taking on Lich 2 again. Let's see if he is first turns him this time. First turn. The ninja was the last to hit. I think he hit him possibly the hardest.
Yeah, all I can say is thank God for the early floater.
Yeah, we were commenting on that too. Anytime you see an early floater, you like seeing it, but at the same time, sub-hour time much more likely. And at least in myself, if I see a floater early, I'm always if I'm around the hour mark, I'm always waiting for that dot done.
Well, actually, at about the hour mark, I was waiting for jkoper to dot done because I figured he had a black belt, and if he found that grind, I figured he was well ahead of me.
Yep, so we're on the same page on that. You like the early floater, but at the same time, the early floater puts a lot of pressure on you to have around an hour time, sub-hour time. So we have jkoper on the carry 2 fight again. Carry 2 trying to XXX one of his characters, did not succeed. May have had a ribbon or pro ring.
I was very tempted to dive the mermaids after I left C.
We didn't see much of it. The ruby was, I believe, in the first chest that you check in that grouping of 3. So we didn't get to see the rest of treasury. It's very possible that there were ribbons and or better swords there.
Yeah, that scared me the most, not having a ribbon.
Yeah, that is the one piece of equipment you'd like to see on a fighter, unlike a black belt. But his black belt is not high enough in levels to really take advantage of that MDef. I believe he still has equipment on his black belt. Yeah, at 28, I'm assuming he still has the gold bracelet -2 and the pro ring on the black belt.
Yeah, I bought the gold bracelets and the pro rings in Gaia for both my mages. Another reason I took the grind was fast was level 8, so I knew I needed charges of that if this was going to work with a flame sword.
Kraken not hitting yet, choosing to throw out some weaker spells. I think we saw that on your side too, where he had some of the level 2 spells. Black belt only getting in 4 hits. Of course, at that level, 6 hits I think he's at, maybe? But, okay, Kraken not too evade heavy. And not punching hard either, he didn't even take that ninja out. At 3 hits, only did half his health. And Kraken 2 is down, so jkoper is out of the water floor and onto air for Tia 2. Gonna heal up for starting the fight. Gonna leave that ninja in the first slot, black belt in the second, and his 2 red mages at the bottom. If either of the red mages survive, they have life 2 to bring everyone back up. Assuming Tia even takes anyone down. Again, we didn't see anything nasty, I don't think, on your side, but you went through Tia 2 fight fairly quick, considering I believe Tia 2 had a fair amount of absorb.
Did he come across in Viz too?
Did he? I see him using the white shirt, but does he have Invis 2 as well?
I don't believe he does.
Could have swore I checked every shop. I don't know, maybe I missed one somewhere because I never seen Invis 2.
Our tracker's saying it must have been 7 or 8. He doesn't recall seeing it. I'm gonna trust our tracker. Our tracker's been doing a great job. Again, Rojar tracker. I'm gonna go ahead and throw the racer information and everyone else's information in chat, if I can.
I know where it landed. I bet you it landed in Lefane. I never checked the white shop in Lefane. Because Red Mage can't use level 8, so I don't even bother looking at it.
So at the hour 30-minute mark, around hour 30-minute mark, we have jkoper entering Chaos for the first time. He's going to put a red mage in the front slot, followed by, it looked like Ninja. He's got the black belt on the 4th slot, so he's not looking to lock Chaos into any kind of script, but with this party, I doubt you'd see that anyway. For those that don't know, there's a glitch involving I'm assuming it's a glitch, involving the 3rd slot. Do you know, THC, exactly how that works?
No.
Okay. I don't either. I know what slot you can put them in, and it has something to do with getting Chaos in like a looping script. Maybe someone in chat can throw that info out there. Wall going out, gets his black belt walled, gets power gauntlet out, Chaos hitting 2 hits, 226 damage, not doing a lot of damage. That was on a red mage. Chaos not hitting hard this evening. He's trying to decide if he's gonna throw a Cure 4 out, what he's gonna do. He's gonna throw a Cure 4 out, try to keep that red mage up. Second red mage is going to throw a nuke, and black belt is going to power bonk again. So we got another evade stack out, so we're at, I believe that's 4 of 6, or is 2 of 6. Lightning 2 coming out from Chaos. We're likely to see a pretty big hit from that black belt whenever he decides he's going to hit. Now you cast lock 2, I believe you maxed out the lock 2, you cast it 3 times on Chaos. I'm assuming Chaos was pretty evade heavy, THC?
No, Black Mage just had nothing better Red Mage had nothing better to do when she ran out of tempers. So.
Okay.
Actually, Red Mage never had temper because he couldn't learn it.
So we see a 900 damage hit from the black belt. Probably see...
Black belts.
Yeah, I gotta love black belt. That was a very tempered black belt, though. That black belt's only level, I believe, 25. So got nukes coming out, got swings coming out, blizzard coming out from Chaos, not doing too much. Got a fade coming out for 122 damage, another nuke coming out for 197, and a big punch of not a big punch. He misses a lot of his hits and only gets 1 or 2 crits. So we went from 900 damage down to 200 and something.
Nuke coming out, 282 damage. 2 hits, 236 damage. That's enough to terminate. GG to jkoper.
GG.
Finishing with a official racetime.gg time of 1:33:22.
Do you know if jkoper is going to join us in chat? While we find out about that, did you have any final thoughts? Oh, there he goes. There he is. GG, jkoper. What do you think about this seed today?
It was too easy. Well, yeah, it was too easy in the end game, and not easy enough to pick a good place to grind. So, I'm sure I must have had higher levels than him, but they were unnecessary. I think I overgrinded because of all of the Life 2 and Cure 4 and everything, all those spells that we had. But
Well, he THC also ground. You ground on the Agama tile as well in the Northwest Castle. I believe your levels were around the same, but you had 4 party members and he only had 3.
okay,
So you had that, and you never went to the solo grind on the black belt. So you were sharing that experience as well, which he did as well. You never down. Did you go to a 2-man grind at any point, THC? I'm trying to remember. I don't recall.
No, I never dedicated grind. I walk grind the whole game. That's why I take all the fights and I don't encounter manip. I just get my levels as I go through the game, and hopefully by the time I hit Topher, if I get a good sword, I have enough levels. But of course, the game deals nothing for weapons.
Yeah, he ran a different continuity. He ran fighter, black wizard, and red wizard, right? He did promote. So you had a different party comp. It was exciting to see the different. We talk about the different strategies when you're talking fighter versus black belt. Yeah, that lack of a grind tile though, that seems to be what happens to me whenever I get black belt. I'm always looking for the good grind, the early grind. Don't seem to find it. What were you thinking whenever you checked all the grind tiles and weren't finding one to your that you felt you should take?
I don't know. I just debating what to do the whole time. I'm still not sure what I should have done. But
Topher had a good grind tile for you.
oh, what was in Topher again?
4 zombie dragons. They didn't hit very hard either. That'd have been wicked on the black belt.
Yeah, they were mute touching though, and that's I mean, it's good to grind once you're solo grinding, I guess. But if you can't use any spells if you're getting hit like that. Yeah, no, I did do a fight or 2 on the zombie dragons, and I decided that was going to be too much of a pain with the muting.
Yeah, I could definitely see that when you're trying to get the black belt, up to the level where you can solo grind them. I don't remember where the iron golem tile was. Was that an option at any point?
That was an ice.
That was nice. Okay, so
Yeah. Maybe, I'm not sure. With the 4 warp charges for the black belt, I don't know. Either way, it wasn't like anything was working out perfectly. I don't know what I really would have done to save 18 minutes. So, whatever, stuff happens.
Yeah. I found the item in ice and I left right away. I didn't even go down.
Carry 1 proving to be a little bit of a gatekeeper. I think Carry 1 might have given both you guys more trouble than even Topher.
Yeah, Carry 1 wiped me the first time I went in.
Oh, really? I didn't wipe until Topher, when I was just I just didn't heal before those waters. It didn't matter. You had already finished. I didn't care.
Yeah, I did. I wasn't gonna comment on the fact that you knew the finish was there. We were hoping you'd heal up. I thought when you wiped, I thought maybe you were, just gonna join us in chat. But it turned out, you did get it on your second attempt. So again, good GG for finishing. I know sometimes it can be a little bit difficult to finish it out when the other when you're just trying to finish it out. So GG on finishing. We got to see a good race. There were definitely some times where you guys, completely different strats, so it was interesting to see each runner's strats. Did you have any questions for them? Professor?
Yeah, I'm busy with doing some stuff, but
Okay.
I don't really have anything else to comment on.
All right. Any final thoughts? We'll start with THC.
No, it was fairly good endgame seed. Beginning was rough. GG jkoper. Good luck on your next 2 matches. Hopefully you'll get 1, maybe getting your chance to the play-in race, maybe get 2 and get in the brackets. So, yeah, thanks for the restream and the comms and trackers and all that kind of stuff. And yeah, that's it for me.
How about you, jkoper?
Yeah, no, same. Good luck to you as well, Canuck. And thanks for putting the show together as always. I really wish this would have taken longer. I'm gonna be here on this same channel again in like 40 minutes ish, and for Link to the Past.
Oh wow, okay. Well, good
Yeah,
luck to you guys on
yeah.
that.
I seen you running that the other day in the thing. Good luck in the tournament. I'll probably watch that match. I kind of like that game.
Yeah, thanks. So I'll be around. Hopefully, I lose by less in that race. I definitely don't expect to win, but you never know, I guess.
All right. Well, if that concludes the final thoughts, we want to thank SpeedGaming 3 for hosting us today, my fellow commentator, Professor Render, for joining us, our runners, jkoper and the Hangry Canuck. And if there's nothing else, I believe we're going to turn it back over to SpeedGaming 3.
Take it easy, everybody.